A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke, chapter 11, verses 37 to 41. Jesus had just finished speaking when a Pharisee invited him to dine in his house. He went in and sat down at the table. The Pharisee saw this and was surprised that he had not first washed before the meal. But the Lord said to him, "O you Pharisees, you clean the outside of cup and plate, while inside yourselves you are filled with extortion and wickedness. Fools, did not he who made the outside make the inside too? Instead, give alms from what you have, and then indeed everything will be clean for you." The Gospel of the Lord. Here we see that Jesus has been invited by the Pharisee into his house, and instead of repaying the kindness because he's in somebody else's home, he speaks out against the sin of the Pharisee. It is like, I can only imagine how upset I would be if somebody came to my house because I invited him and he didn't maybe remove his shoes before coming in, and when I tell him, "Hey, do you mind removing your shoes?" he starts saying all other things about me not paying my taxes, or me doing this or doing that, all the wrong things I've done. I would be really upset. And I would really, I think my natural instinct would be to find all means that is in my power to take revenge on Jesus. And any person, any human being would feel this way, because you just humiliated me. You come into my house and you humiliated me. And that takes a lot of courage. Jesus had a lot of courage. I must say that Jesus was a man with a lot of courage to do something like that. Are we brave enough to do that? Do we have the courage to do that? He didn't ask to go to the man's house. He was invited. So I don't think there was anything wrong on the part of Jesus. But he stood up. Jesus stood up for what he stands for, regardless of the consequences. He was not pressured to backing down on what he had to say just because he was invited. I think most of us would be pressured into backing down or to tone our manner because we were in a Pharisee's house, but not Jesus. He spoke up. He said his piece. He walked the talk. I think that's what we're called to do. We're called to be courageous and not be fearful of what other people can do to us. He walked the talk. And if we are to make something of ourselves, we are to lead. We cannot show any degree of cowardice. We cannot be cowed into submission. We need to take courage and walk the talk. And that is my thought. Those are my thoughts for this evening.